testing. Still? One second. Testing. Hey, what's good with y'all, man? It's the Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth in the building, live in full effect. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I was doing a sound check, but full effect. Yes, we're definitely good to go. I was doing a sound check as I opened up. But yes, man, it's the Thawahgabar, man. Black Authentic Truth. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm in the building, live in the flesh, and we're going to have a jam-packed show full of topics. Okay, I got a lot of topics I'm trying to crunch in and condense into, like an hour segment, because I seem to not have, no concept of time. I know last week when I went live, I didn't even know I had went live that long, and I'd be trying to make the time. Matter of fact, I had people waiting on me, and I'm just like, dang, I didn't even know I had went that long. I think I went almost like an hour and 40 minutes. But anyway, like I always start off and ask, how is everyone's Sunday going? All right, let me look at the comment. I see Renee is in here. And of course, I know a lot of other brothers and sisters are going to tap in later on throughout the live video. Yeah, man, it's warm out here. It's hot. And even in here, it seems like the AC is working, but it seems like it's struggling a little bit. It's, you know how it be sometimes. The AC gets to start struggling. Yeah, so maybe we need to call the people and see they can check on that. But other than that, man, I cannot complain. I will not complain. That's one thing I learned to do, is when I get in the mindset that I want to look at, things that have happened, circumstances and stuff like that, and be negative, there's always somebody that's doing way worse than you. Always. When you put that perspective on it, you can always come up out of what you're going through. You can always come up. Listen, I can walk. My limbs are working. My eyes are working. Well, if you're like within a 20-foot radius, my eyes, you know what I'm saying? I do wear glasses, but, things are working. I got my health. You know what I mean? You can look at anything. There's so many things you can look at and be thankful for and say, man, listen, this probably not falling in line right now, but at least I can get up, stretch, walk around. I still have my right frame of mind. Man, that's all you can ask for, man, especially in these days and times. There's so many people going through it. So much sickness and all kinds of things going on. So at the very least, your health, you can just look at your health and just say, okay, well, at least I got that. I might not have money in my pocket. I might not, my bills is paid. I might not have money, but I got my health. I got my right frame of mind. Y'all know what y'all heard this before. Am I saying something you never heard before? No, I'm not. We know, but even though we know, we still can get locked into being negative and being pessimistic and looking at all the wrong things and not taking being thankful for the things that we should be thankful for. Those things we forget about. And it's funny because especially in America, people are hella spoiled. And you go to these third world countries and they are thankful, not only thankful, but they have a better quality of life with less things, less appliances, less conveniences. Like in America, you got all of these conveniences that make life better and things easier, and technology and all of these new phones coming out and stuff like that. But you're going through it. You can't get right. Your life is in shambles. But you got people in other countries, they don't have half of the stuff we got, and they have a way better quality of life, which is something that people should think about. Anyway, I'm gonna get into my topics. Give me a second. I went to a Juneteenth event yesterday. Okay. I went to a Juneteenth event, and that was cool. Met some really interesting people. I met a brother. He happened to walk by my booth and seen the Black Authentic Truth banner. You know, the banner that I have on Black Authentic Truth with the young Harriet Tubman you got a family, a black man, child, and woman working in the field, and then the other side you have with Peter Gordon with his scarred back. And he said it just brought back memories. And he said that he was from Arkansas, and his family, he grew up sharecropping. And I said, I want to hear that story. So I interviewed him, and I'm going to post a video at another time, probably later on today or maybe tomorrow. But, he dropped a heavy story on me, and I wanted to hear the experience of someone that's still alive that is from down south that actually picked cotton. So I met that brother. I met a two other elder brothers, but one of the brothers, he had some good information. I asked him what did they think about the Carmelo thing, and then we got on history, white people, things of that nature, and he said some really good things. Also, I also met a black school teacher that is an eighth grade school teacher, and we talked about uh, so many things, right? And she asked me, "What is Black Authentic Truth about?" And I told her, "Black Authentic Truth basically is about Black people, past, present, and the future, like history and current events, things of that nature." So typically, Black Authentic Truth started off more like me just doing historical videos. Now I kind of like vlog and talk. I wasn't live streaming like I live stream now. This is something that I kind of grew on. I kind of you know, learned to do, I would say, because it was never my aim. So I just learned to, what should I get to live stream instead of just making videos in my room. I said, what should I get to live stream? What should I get to? What are the things I need to do to make a live stream, but not only make it, but make it look professional and be professional to a certain extent. And so that's where I'm at now. And I told her that. And then we talked about history. We talked about some people, Annie Fisher, famous Amos, uh, Annie Turnbull Malone. And then she asked me a question because I also told her I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And she asked me a question about the Ethiopian Bible. And I, went into that. I went into the history, breaking things down. And we just had a good talk that, spanned uh, North Africa, West Africa, the thing with Asian people right now, the Asian boycott, the difference between Negroes and Africans, Shemites and Hamites, and after that, she asked me. Well, she wanted my information because she said that she would like for me to come to the school because they have a program for young Black youth. It's called Black Kings. She said it's not all Black boys, it's Black and brown boys, but she would like for me to come and speak to them. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. Like, the funny thing about that is that I had probably just like a week ago, I was saying to myself, I could do that. I could go into my kids' school and probably tell stories because my thing is Black Authentic Truth stories. So I can tell one of those Black Authentic stories to a class, and touch on in certain key notes of the story of that person in history that I'm sure they never heard of, because the people that I usually talk about are people that are not the regular Black history people they bring up in Black History Month. So I've already thought that I could, I can do that. Well, this is the opportunity. So, Lord willing, hopefully she called me and I'll be in the classroom teaching eighth grade boys some Black history. Ain't that something? And it all came from me breaking down, uh, the Ethiopian Bible, the difference between Israelites and Ethiopians, the difference between, we were talking about the Bible basically. And I'm not going to say that, but I'm just going to guess. I'm not standing on this, but I'll guess the level of knowledge that as she's listening to me, that I was expounding on, she probably thought that I would be a good person or candidate to come to the school and talk to the boys for the program that they have, which is, that's what's up. I can't, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. I know that much. I know that much. So now I have to develop, what I'm going to talk about is something I've never done before. What I'm going to go into a middle school and talk to the youth about. There's a lot of different things areas I can go, but I would like to be more in a preventative area, talk about some history, but also a preventative area, because that's the age where you start feeling yourself. You're about to go be a freshman in high school. And a lot of people, I know in my experience, and probably yours, you guys also, when you around that time when you're in high school, you see that's a whole nother world. You got seniors, 11th graders and seniors, people doing grown people stuff like smoking weed and things of that nature. And you can be very impressionable. So depending on how you're doing that freshman year, it's kind of going to depend on how you're going to do the next 3 years, right? Anyway, after that, I interviewed some older gentlemen, and me and my son was walking away, and a young boy, he said, "Excuse me, sir, my mom would like to know if you would interview her. You know, but she wants to tell you about my brother, her son, being killed by the police." I said, "Of course, I'll do that. Of course, I'll interview." So I went and talked to this sister, Taisha, right? And her son, Jaquan, this is something I hadn't heard of. He had, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna play a video. Well, I should tell you first. Her son was shot 11 times in the back by the San Bernardino sheriff. They basically shot him, followed him in another jurisdiction. He was shot at like 10 o'clock in the morning, coming out of a Starbucks. He was shot 11 times in the back. As she tells me, 3 times when he was on the ground already deceased. So 8 times in the back while he was up, 3 more times when he was on the ground already deceased. And this happened on January 22nd of this year. And I said, I've never even heard of the story. And she said she had walked around passing out flyers and talked to a lot of people at the Juneteenth event, like 50 people, and they all had never heard of this happening. And I was like, I haven't heard of this, and this is in my area. And I look at the news on a day whenever I get a chance. I'm watching the news almost on a daily basis. I'm not going to say every day, but I think I look at the news a lot. And certain stories, like some police shooting people in the back, those stories typically are big, especially when they didn't have a weapon. Like he didn't have a weapon or anything. And so what has been going on is because it was in another jurisdiction, what happened is that these sheriffs that look like, mercenaries, devils, right? They were not in their own jurisdiction. So they left the scene, and then the jurisdiction that was over that area is the Riverside PD, Riverside Police Department came and took over the scene. And so her son body lay out there from the morning to the night, and it rained and everything. And so, and so, so I'm gonna play a video. Okay, let's play this video. This is of a bystander, because the problem with this story is when they're trying to get justice, they're trying to get the police, the body cam footage. They won't release the body cam footage. This investigation has been taken over by the Department of Justice. So they're fighting to get the footage. Whenever they go to one jurisdiction, they say no, it's them, and the next jurisdiction says no, it's them. So it's like this pointing the fingers, and she's getting a back and forth. And they want the footage released, but they can't get anywhere with the footage. She also told me that she had Ben Crump, but Ben Crump didn't want to take the case until the police footage was released. And she had another guy, I can't remember his name, but he's another black activist that basically dropped her because she did not go with the attorney that he wanted her to go with. I'll find out who that, I know his name, but he's got like a different kind of name. And y'all know who I'm talking about. He might be like I think he might be, I don't know. But anyway, I'll find his name. But so yeah, so those are some of the details of what has been transpiring, and I'll talk a little bit more after I play this video. This video is from a bystander, so I just want to let you know, like, this is somebody that's watching that I guess they seen it, and you hear different people in the video talking about it. They got one of the officers on camera. One of the officers that actually killed her son is on this particular video. All right, so let me go.
You guys just killed him out for nothing. What's your name, sir? Identify yourself.
Trigger warning. This is why we always film the police.
They're gone. They're done. They killed the guy. He's already dead.
You think they're not gonna let me in my own bank?
He's already dead. They killed him.
They killed him. I watched them kill him.
Did he
I
have a
watched
gun?
them chase him down. They don't know what the hell he had. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
out.
shit.
Lock me in too.
Fucking pig right here. Look at. I got an undercover cop right here. Look at this pig. Look at that. Look at. What's your name, sir? You gotta identify yourself, sir.
No.
No, they just killed him. He was already dead. They just shot his ass. What's your name, sir? Identify yourself. You just got killed a man for nothing. Fucking pig. What's your name? He didn't have shit. They killed his ass. You guys just killed him out for nothing. What's your name?
So that's some of the video. So there was witnesses, there were people out there. So every 22nd of the month, the family is gathering at 3784 Tyler Street in Riverside, close to the tire shop. That's where they're at every 22nd of every month at 6 p.m. Okay, if somebody is in the area and they want to go support the family, let me put this up, because I told this sister that, you know, I will put it on Black Authentic Truth, and I'll do my part of what I can do. You know what I mean? And the best thing that I can do with the resource that I have is my platform. Now, my platform reaches 206,000 people on Facebook, 187,000 people on Instagram. And of course, YouTube, I got about 22,000 subscribers, just for people to get the story out of Jaquay. All right, so I'll just put that up there. It's been 4 months. It's been 4 months, and they haven't even got no answers. There's been no transparency, no accountability, and of course, no justice. So they're doing this every 22nd of the month at the same location. That's what they've been doing. So also, his mother had told me that she's been going to council meetings, and they're telling her it's pointless for her to come to the council meetings. She should go to Sacramento. She should go to the state capitol. Just all around is just a campaign to keep this quiet. Of course, this is how things happen. Even with the Cyrus Belton case, I never heard of the case until the trial. It happened 3 years ago. So what you realize is a lot of times when there are cases, they don't even report them. Meaning it's not put on television. It's like a gag order not to report on certain stories until they get to a certain place, to not infuriate the public, to not, add fuel to the fire, so to speak. And in that case with Cyrus, we see that's exactly what happened, because I had never heard of it until the end. We all did. And so it's many cases like this we don't even know that they exist, because no major news outlets is carrying them at all. And it makes you scratch your head and wonder why. And when you talk about these police unions and the amount of power and money they got backing them, they can make phone calls and get favors done for them in that manner, where, the only thing that you have is your word of mouth, your platform, social media, groundwork, getting on the ground, getting outside, protesting, that's all you got because the media is not even picking it up. And there's a reason why they're not picking it up because the police, in most cases, are wrong. All right. So justice for Jaquay. And I just wanted to bring that out. I told his mother yesterday, said I will put it on my platform. No problem. If anybody got any stories that need to be heard, I'll put it on the platform. You know what I mean? And then we had a nice little interview. I had an interview with her. It's not really an interview, but I just, allowed her to get, the points out. And then there was another sister named Mary that is also advocating for him that, came with some extra details and points made about the police department, the sheriff's department and all of that. San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and Riverside PD. Okay. Now moving on. Juneteenth. Now I was at the Juneteenth event. Black people was having a lot of fun at that Juneteenth event yesterday. And I had a good time just being able to talk to different Black people and see what they were thinking. And it's just beautiful to see Black people like that. But my question to Black people that's going to these Juneteenth events is having a good time, enjoying yourself in the camaraderie of Blackness. Are you still going to be celebrating the 4th of July? Something to think about. That's something to think about, right? Now, something that I seen was there's a flyer that was going around for Juneteenth for the day of the holiday on the 19th. There's a flyer going around, and I want to talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it. Okay? Let me see if I could this flyer. Wait, is it a way I can maybe I can do it? So flyer says Juneteenth. Let me just see. You know what? Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do something a little better. Maybe I can do something a little better. Let me. I really want to examine this because this is diabolically wrong. It's wrong. It's not right. We got to get it together. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. I want to share the screen. Excuse me. Let's share this screen. Now, let's remove this, add this to the stage, but let's make this bigger. Okay. Look at this. This is a flyer for Juneteenth, y'all. Juneteenth in Jefferson presents the Juneteenth in Jefferson, Texas. June 19th, ladies plus 18 to enter, a twerk contest. Jefferson, Texas. Jefferson, Texas, y'all got to come to the table, man. Jefferson, Texas. Y'all, what's going on in Jefferson, Texas? What's going on in Jefferson, Texas? This is crazy, y'all. Let me see. This is crazy. This is the stuff we be talking about, man. All right. Why are we having a twerk contest? Why are we having a twerk contest on Juneteenth? Huh? Why? Cash prizes, 500, 300, 200. So we're prostituting on Juneteenth. Bring that ass. hosted by your favorite ladies. We bring in the heat. A hot girl summer, right? Whose daughters are these? Who raised you? Whose daughters are these, man? Who raised you? Believe it or not, there are daughters. They are a reflection of what we have let go in the Black community. They are a reflection of what we don't shame in the Black community. They are a reflection of the morals we don't have anymore in the Black community. They are a reflection of that. Now, here it is. They're in the great state of Texas where Black people, where June's team started, where Black people decided to create a celebration, an annual celebration to the fact that they found out that they were no longer slaves anymore. And you having a damn twerking contest? So let me guess, you're twerking for the ancestors. We have come so low, y'all. And a lot of y'all do not want to face that fact. You do not want to say anything. You don't want to upset anyone, but it is the effing truth. So when the slaves got free, they started twerking. When Harriet Tubman got free, she started throwing it in a circle. Are y'all effing serious? What is wrong with y'all? It's like a lot of y'all, your brain is in your ass. And that's all y'all can think of. It's all that you can think of. This is how you honor your ancestors on a day when they found out that they were free from slavery. You're going to shake your funky behind, your half-naked, funky ass. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then to add insult to injury, it's in Texas where Juneteenth started. Like, y'all don't know y'all history? You don't care about your history. And you know what? Going back to when I was talking to that teacher was telling me about how it is so hard to teach children that are not interested in learning nowadays. And it's not rocket science wise, because a lot of times the parents are not involved with the children in learning. She's a history teacher, and learning their history, not just at school, but once they get at home, like having a regular thing where you have your children read and learn things. No one is interested in that. I can tell you right now, just with my platform, nobody is interested in history. Nobody give a damn about, and I'm saying this, I'm not saying like, once they hear it, they're not interested. I'm saying that nobody takes initiative to learn their history on their own. That is not sensational enough, right? Juneteenth, learning about a Juneteenth celebration, let's just say a Juneteenth celebration and having exhibits, having, workshops, having, what I was going to say, presentations, having little, rooms with videos to educate like they do in a museum, something like that at a Juneteenth event. That's not enough. Or that's not what people want. People want to twirl it in a circle, get drunk and high at a Juneteenth event, not realizing that you are more than a slave than your ancestors were when they got free, because they had more dignity and more honor and more knowledge of who they were and who they wasn't going to act like. I'm done on it. It's just a shame. It's sad. It's a shame. It's a shame that our people has stooped that low to where nothing. I mean, nothing is sacred. Nothing is honorable or dignified anymore. Everything can be walked over or rethought of, or redone. You can't redo having dignity and having pride as a people and having honor as a people and having class and having morality. You can't get that anywhere else but acting that way. And we acting a damn fool right now. We acting a damn fool. So what I want to talk about is a little bit is about the boycott, okay? Now we know what happened a week ago with the Asian boycott thing, and some Asian dude came out talking tough, saying go ahead and boycott or what have you. You even had black people saying, well, you can't really boycott them because you can't boycott China because everything comes from China, right? And I think a lot of you, I know many people just totally missed that point about the boycott. It had nothing to do with boycotting China. What it had to do with it had to do with boycotting the mom and pop shops. Okay. The local retailers who make their money from the black community, and those dollars go to their families and friends and even back to China, to family and friends in China to take care of them. Once that money goes from your hand as a black person to their hand, it is not circulating and funneling back into your community. Like nobody can boycott China. Now, all of the work was exported a long time ago out of America. And they have full-blown sweatshops in China where they're making products and clothes and all type of things at a very, very cheap price because they have sweatshops. So you can't boycott the continent. That wasn't even the aim of a boycott. It was about what's going on right here. Now, granted, Donald Trump tried to boycott China. With them tariffs, he tried to do what he did, but even he couldn't do it. So it was never about that. And to be honest with you, there are people manufacturing everywhere. They manufacture right here in Mexico. All those Amazon trailers you see there's on the road, those are manufactured in Mexico, like right over the border. Literally, they made by Hyundai, but they manufactured in Mexico. The point I'm making that any people can get an industry and start producing something, like making clothing from cotton. All it takes is you doing it. It's an industry. But the real boycott would work like this. This is how a real boycott will work. It will work like this. You're no longer going into their shops, local, correct? You're going to black people. Now, those same black people that have beauty supply stores or whatever kind of business they have, now they have to go to the Asian wholesaler, right? They have to purchase it. The difference is when they purchase it and they're selling it to other black people as a black person, that money is staying right there. Because when they make their money, they're not spending just with Asian people, and they're not sending no money back to Asia. Their money typically is going to stay with their people. So the people who would be cut out the deal is the local Asian business owners. All right. That's how that would work. And some people totally missed that point. And I didn't understand how they missed that, how they was making it like, oh, you could never boycott China because they make everything. That was never the aim. That's not the aim. And to be honest with you, just that practice is something that black people is far from, okay, because of the way the infrastructure that we live in, this is society we live in. it would be hard pressed to change a lot of people's minds to say, let's all do this one thing. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of Black people doing this on an individual level, definitely. But in large groups, I don't think Black people are there yet. Like, a lot of talk on the internet is just what it is. It's just talk. You got to actually see the action. I think Black people move harder when it was that thing about Target than this. Because, all it takes is a few days and then people forget about it. They forget, you know what I mean? But anyway, I wanted to bring that out. And also, talking about this boycott, this is a video I seen. Let me play this video real quick. Look at this video.
People got called out and y'all think we wasn't gonna step to the plate. Hi, can I please order for pickup, please?
Your name, please?
Keisha?
Oh, which one I can order?
I would like to order 3 orders of the spring rolls, a order of the fried wontons. Yeah, 1 order of the fried wontons. Can I do an order of the vegetable steamed dumplings?
Okay.
Also, sorry, we're ordering for like 6 people. Can we do the Szechuan chicken,
Okay.
the lamb with scallion,
Okay.
the steamed fish fillet,
Okay.
and then we will do a order of I'm sorry, do you guys have fried chicken?
You mean the fried chicken wings?
Yeah, can I do like 2 orders of the fried chicken wings?
Okay.
And then last but not least, can we do 2 orders of the chicken fried rice? I'm sorry, 1 order of the chicken fried rice and 1 vegetable fried rice.
Okay.
And that will be all.
Okay. Total 226 and 36 cents.
Okay,
About 25 minutes.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And we only take 39 cents. No Apple Pay, no tap, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Bye.
you. Black people.
Now, that is hella childish. It's stupid. It's childish. It's emotional. It's something that I've seen a lot of Black people doing this. And this is the problem. A lot of y'all got real emotional. And why would you record yourself doing something like that? It's something that is so undignified in a time like this. It only brings more heat to Black people in general. It's foolish. You don't even have to do that. You can do a more dignified, a more, something that your ancestors did. A boycott and stand on business that way. You don't have to play games and be silly and be childish. That's what children do. Children, knock on doors and run. Children call the police 911 and, act like they didn't call them. Like, you ain't even got to do all of that. And from then, now, what you're going to see is that they're going to, you're going to be required to put your, card information in first. It just is foolish. And a lot of y'all ain't got you don't got that's, I can't really fault a lot of people because it's how you was raised. You don't know any better as an adult. In fact, many Black people that are adults are really just children. We just got to call it how it is, because you move with the same emotions as a child. You react in the same way a child would react. And I just feel like that's just, it's not a good look. It's not a good look to record yourself calling in orders that you are not going to pay for in order to get back at whoever you think you're getting back at because of what happened to our brother, 14-year-old Cyrus Belton, or you seen some video with some racist Asian talking about Black people. That was silly. All right. Now, that brings me to what I've been seeing lately. Okay, what I've been seeing lately, and I'm sure y'all have, is they have this meme going around with black people. It's AI with black people pissing on Austin Metcalf's tombstone. That's also childish. That's also it shows a lack of sophistication in dealing with race relations. I mean, let's be honest. Like we shouldn't be trying to stoop to their level. That's what they do. Like I've seen the George Floyd memes that they make, and this is funny. The funny thing about AI is like now everybody at the all you got to do is type in something, and you can get a image that would have took somebody that was proficient in Photoshop 3 years ago. It would have took them anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours to 3 hours to create some of these images that AI can create within seconds. And so that AI is kind of like, it's got plus and minuses, because now people that have degenerate minds and people that, are emotional and want to get back at people, you know, they can think of whatever they think of and AI will make it for them. I think it's just poor taste. You know what I mean? It ain't no need for that. But typically that I'm a guess that anybody that's posting something like that would be a young person, somebody that's not refined enough to understand, like, we don't have to we don't have to stoop to their level. That has always been what they do. Okay. Even before computers, before the internet. I'm talking about, we go back to the 1900s. They was doing that with postcards. And so I'm gonna get into that. That takes me to Austin Metcalf's father, Jet Metcalf. I know y'all seen the video where he talked about this whole thing not being about race and blah, blah, blah. And then he says, I can think of something. Carmelo is a watermelon felon. He said it like he just came off the rip. Like he just freestyled watermelon felon, when we know damn well he already knew what he was going to say. Called Carmelo a watermelon felon, and they so corny with it. But black people are reacting to that. They're reacting to that, and I've seen white people make those AI things with Carmelo with a watermelon head, and watermelon felon this and that, and the level that they have been on, that they've been on lately, has been the level they have always been on. I don't know if y'all don't notice that, but that ain't nothing new. Like saying black people like to eat watermelon. You know what I'm saying? Black people like to eat fried chicken. Well, white people don't like watermelon? White people don't eat watermelon? White people don't eat fried chicken? What you eat? Rotisserie chicken? Baked chicken? Boiled chicken? We know white people like to eat watermelon. We know white people like fried chicken. But this ain't new. Let me show you something. This is not new. Where are we at? There's nothing about this that is new. Okay. White people have been doing this for a very long time. I don't know if you know or not. I don't know if anyone has caught it or not. But, equating, black people to want to eat watermelon or make, saying that in order to get black people upset is nothing new. And it just shows you that they are no different than their ancestors. Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, who was stabbed to death by Carmelo Anthony, he is no different from his ancestors. He called Carmelo a watermelon felon after he talked about this is not about race. So they used to send postcards to their family members and stuff of black people eating watermelon. This is in the time period of the racist caricatures of black people eating watermelon. You see what that one says? I so happy. They created something out of nothing just to make fun of black people. Listen what I'm saying. They created something out of nothing to make fun of black people because of their hatred of black people, and they still use the same thing. They can't even come with something else original. They are still on the same thing, literally. But white people do eat watermelon, and they love watermelon. White children smash their face into watermelon, tearing it up. White adults eat watermelon. So what is it really about? So what can we really pull from this? Here's another one. Let me show you this other one before I go move forward. This is a figurine. This is a figurine that would sit on somebody's cupboard or something like that of a black boy eating some watermelon. This is what they've always done. What can we draw from Jeff Metcalf calling Carmelo a watermelon felon? Or even back in the day, his ancestors saying that, making postcards to insinuate that black people love watermelon and making it kind of like a racial trope. Like black people like fried chicken. What can we draw from that? Well, if you think about children, when children don't have anything but their words, what they do is try to say something that would really hurt another child. And so they'd say, a mama joke, or they say something to hurt another child. And their mind is going to hurt them. And that's exactly what you see with white races. And this is what black people have to understand, is that these are just words. If you take away everything that's perceived and you break it down to the smallest form, really all it is a childish insult. It's a child, that white supremacist online that is calling you the N-word, that is saying you're a watermelon felon, that is saying whatever they saying. Oh, you like Kool-Aid, you like fried chicken, y'all don't take care of your kids, stuff, anything they can think of. They're like a child. They're saying that so that you could react. And this is where you can't get emotional, right? This is where you got to see through all of it and see that they have been saying the same thing that their ancestors were saying 100 years ago. They don't even have any new material, right? So when you look at it all like that, you're like, okay, you're not going to hurt my feelings if that's what you thought you was doing. You're not going to change my mind on nothing. I don't feel like I'm losing anything because you said that. I just feel like it's childish to even go back and forth with you. It's childish to even try to convince you otherwise, or nothing like that. I'm not going to, and this just sounds cliche, but I'm not going to stoop to your level because I'm not on your level and you're not on mine. And so that's how you got to look at that. Jeff Metcalf is no different than his ancestors, right? And many of them harbor the same mindset that their ancestors did. If black people are their ancestors, they are their ancestors also. When they talk about trauma being passed down through generations from black people who experience all of these things at the hands of white people, well, shouldn't the people who once owned people have some form of trauma too? Shouldn't some of that stuff carry on? Or no, it's in the past, right? I say this all the time. Y'all gonna hear me keep saying it because I had never heard it until I said it. Okay. And that is that white people always tell black people, why are you bringing up the past? Stop bringing up the past. You always talking about slavery. You never was a slave. I never was a slave. Why are you always bringing up the past? Now, they will say that, but white people today express the same racial hatred as their forefathers from the past. Now, make that make sense. You can't expect black people not to talk about racism and what happened in the past if the past is still here in the present. Isn't it white people that said, remember the past so you don't repeat it in the future? I thought that used to be a saying. Well, we can't even forget the past because you are saying and doing and showing the same hatred as white men from 150, 200 years ago. And you know it ain't no damn lie. You are your forefathers. You are them. And so we can't never let that go because you can't stop doing what you're doing. You can't mind your business. You see how many white people had a take on black people when black people were upset and talking about boycotting Asians for what happened to that 14-year-old. And the biggest people that had something to say on social media was white people. Wasn't even their fight, wasn't their business, but they wanted to let you know how much they hated black people. They wanted to let you know how much black people deserve to be shot in the back. They wanted to let it be known more than Asians. I can count how many Asians I've seen online actually talking like white supremacists towards black. I can count on one hand. But white people, ooh, you was everywhere trying to double down on what we already know on how you feel about black people. So you're just like your ancestors. Jet Metcalf is just like his ancestors. They're the same. They're one and the same. All right. So I'm going to move on to, let me drop these videos real quick. I got two more stories. Damn, I have to, there's one more story like that. Maybe I should do this one first. Since I'm talking about, Edomites, Caucasians. Remove that from the studio. Let me remove this. Y'all do this one. This one will be pretty easy to cover, talk about. Well, they're all easy, but.
These people were protesting outside of Carmelo Anthony's trial the other day. They were chanting, "We love our black youth. They deserve protection too." And I 100% agree with them. But in my opinion, their outrage seems performative. Because here's the thing. Where are the protests every single other day of the week when it's black on black crime? When it's gang violence? When
You hear that, y'all? Now look how she thought that she was about to cook when she said, but here's the thing. here's the thing. Watch this. Let me back it up. He said, because here's the thing. What?
Because here's the thing. Where are the protests every single other day of the week when it's black on black crime, when it's gang violence, when 9-month-old babies are shot and killed because they're caught in the crossfire of gun violence?
Listen to this. Where are the white protests every single day of the week? Where are the white protests every single day when a white child and children and wife are annihilated in their own home? Where are the protests when people inside a supermarket are shot at by a mass gunman? Where are the white protesters for white on white crime, for violence on white people by other white people, stabbings, rapings, pedophilia? Where are the protests by white people from white on white crime? You see how that works? Let me keep going.
In their neighborhoods. Where are the protests then? Because I personally don't recall seeing any protest. I don't recall seeing any advocacy for the innocent people who lose their lives in black neighborhoods due to.
Where is the advocacy for the innocent white people that lose their lives at the hands of other white people? I haven't seen it. I personally haven't seen it. I bet you she thought she was cooking. She thought she was saying something heavy and deep, right? What y'all don't understand is outside of them using rates, higher rate in per capita, the raw numbers, white people are the most violent people. White on white crime is higher than any other people in America. Okay, let me keep going.
To black on black gang violence. And this is not me doing the what about argument.
She is literally doing the what. She said, this is not me doing the what about. Bitch, you're literally about what aboutism.
This is me showing you all that these people that are at that courthouse saying, we love our black youth, they deserve protection too, don't believe a word they're saying. Because if they believed it, they would advocate for helping young black men avoid gang life. They wouldn't glamorize it. They'd be speaking to their representatives, seeking help.
She said they wouldn't glamorize it. How are they glamorizing it? You know, I know who does glamorize murder, mass shootings, and all type of killing is white people in every movie that you've ever watched your whole damn life.
An advocacy for young black men to get jobs and further their education. But we don't see that out of any of those individuals.
She said, we don't see that, as though white people know what every black person is doing, is in every black community, every black, rally, every black protest, every black meeting, everything. White people, how would white people know that? I don't know what white people are doing in their own communities. What I do know is what I see on television. I don't see them saying, hey, we have a problem. We have a problem with these young males killing everybody. You know what I see them do? Instead of blaming white people, they blame the guns. That's what I see them do. Instead of but when it comes to black people, they blame black people. Any gun violence, they blame Chicago. They blame black people. But when it's white people doing violence, gun violence, it's the guns' fault. We need to outlaw. We need more stricter gun laws.
Individuals. And I mean, ask yourself this. If the individual that Carmelo Anthony had murdered was a black man or a Hispanic man or young boy at the time, would any of these people even be at the courthouse? Would this even be a story? Or would it be just another day in the hood?
Oh, she really thought she cooked with that. You wouldn't hear about the story if it was two black men because it doesn't fit the narrative of the media. The same way you don't hear about it if you wouldn't heard about it if it was two white men because it doesn't fit the narrative of the media. But what does fit the narrative of the media is racism. And when a black person or a white person has an issue or some type of situation. Now I want you to think about this because it's getting tiring, but I got all the smoke for all of them all day. They constantly try to talk about black on black crime, black on black crime this, black on black crime this. We're talking about black people who are 13%. Now, hear the common sense in what I'm saying. They talk as though black on black crime is a threat to white people. Let me help you out with what I'm saying. First of all, I've never heard the term white on white crime, but it is the highest in America. It is tearing America apart while white people are focused on black and brown people. Their community is crumbling. But when they talk about white on white crime, if someone were to talk about it, me as a black male, I would not be concerned with white on white crime if a white man did anything to another white man. Why? Because it is white on white crime and there's 70% something of the population, and I still wouldn't be concerned about it. Has nothing to do with me. It's not, I'm not concerned about whatever a white man is doing to another white person. But it's funny that they are concerned about the 13% of black people in America that commit crimes against other black people. How is that even affecting them? It's not. So you mean to tell me that they are so concerned about black people killing other black people that they want to see the black community do better? You know, that's a crock of shit. No, the reason why is they want to continue to criminalize black people and make black people look like they subhuman and like they, are natural born criminals. Why are you concerned about the 13%? If they're hurting each other, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Maybe you should worry about white on white crime, which is a larger problem that does not get talked about in the news media. And then worry about white on everybody crime. That's what you should worry about. Though that's the biggest thing you should worry about is your community. They're worried about black people as though it is even affecting them. It's not affecting white people, but it's their main talking point. They have no other point. They're not saying, we're more righteous than you. We don't do this and that. They're saying you kill your people at a higher rate than we kill our people. So that means that you are the bad boogeyman because you kill your people and you're just 13% at a higher rate than us. When the raw numbers, nobody can compete with you. Nobody in America can compete with the raw numbers of the amount of homicides a year, the amount of violent murders, gun violence, stabbings, molestations, rapings, pedophilia, and mass shootings. Nobody can compete with you, white man. Listen, your rap sheet is so long, we can't even catch up. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going to move on to this. She thought she really cooked with that one, but she did not. She thought she said something profound and deep. But for her audience, of course, it's profound and deep because they on the surface. It's profound and deep to people who have low IQ. And she looked like she got that stuff paint sprayed all over her face. That stuff Donald Trump wear. Now, this is the last clip I'm going to go into. Right?
The control of people.
I'm going to make it a little bigger. Runoko Rashidi. I know this brother. I'm not really familiar with this brother, but I know that He used to bring out a lot of information and artifacts and stuff. He passed away a few years ago. Let me see, how can I situate this?
I don't think you can control a people, as I said, physically, unless you control them psychologically. So in many ways, we enable white supremacy. And if all the white people were to leave the planet today, white supremacy would still continue because we've been so indoctrinated with white supremacist tendencies. There's a brother, a psychologist out on the West Coast named Dr. Wade Nobles. And Dr. Nobles likes to say that the essence of power is the ability to define someone's reality and make them live according to that definition as though they chose that definition. And so today our standards of beauty, our standards for success, what does it mean to be happy? All of these things are in many ways, I think, instilled in our minds by a white supremacist culture. And those are the things that we're fighting.
And I totally agree. And, we talked about this for years about, I used to say that if you took black people and black people were allowed to just go to another land, just say the United States gave black people 2 states, Texas, Arizona, something like that, right? And we moved there and we were able to set up our own government. We would end up setting up our government the same as the American government because the ideology of America is ingrained in us. So what I mean by that is that we would set up a voting process. Like just the whole form of government would be a Roman European style of government because it's all that we know. And then psychologically, what he is saying is that, it's something that I agree with, like our standards of beauty, everything that we have a standard of or we think that is okay as black folks in America, we think that we chose a lot of these things as if we made the decision to say it's nothing wrong with this thing or this is right and wrong. A case in point is the prevalence of alternative lifestyles in the black community. If you go back a little further, go back about 20 years, it wasn't like this. Okay, I remember. And it just grew on you as the dominant culture, American culture, started to push images of same-sex relationships in movies and brochures. They're pushing it in schools. They're literally like, basically brainwashing you to start to accept it. And so people accept it. And the things they were saying about it, like you're born this way. And then it was a time when you never heard black people talking like that. But now you do today. It's normal today. But you go back 20 years ago, it was not like that. But we believe we chose these things. We believe it. And we're like, brainwashed to think in the American way. So the way we see beauty, what we think is beauty, what we think is happiness, what we think is morality. You go to other countries and they like, America is trash because the level of morality, how sexuality is just, put out there in America. Whoredom and all of that stuff is normal to us. We grew up with seeing half-naked women every day on TV. We grew up like this. In other countries, they don't grow up like that. They don't grow up with, you saying love is love and all of that crap. They don't understand it. They're very traditional and they have a better quality of life. I just seen where I seen a clip where Candace Owens was saying she had just went to Russia and she said Russia is way better than America as far as the quality of life. And I'm pretty sure it's like that a lot of places where the quality of life is way better. You think it's not because you think you popping in America, but really we're psychologically locked into what all we know. The only thing that we know, and we think that this is it. And so that's why we look at our women, you look at our women, or we have this stigma in the black community. I'm not going to say women, I'm going to say period. We have this stigma of what good hair is and what bad hair is. And that is based off of white people, with white people type of here being the best, most easiest manageable, to black people here being the least manageable, which is not true. But that's our perception. That's our perception. But in another country with black people, their hair is everything to them. It's beautiful. They don't look at it like it's at the bottom of the. They look at it like they don't even probably even compare. Probably even no comparison. They don't have colorism like we do. We have colorism. We have colorism within our group, within black people. Black people are colorists. Not because we want to be, but because we came up in a society where that's what it is. You look at I'll show you a good example of colorism. Look at major news stations. Maybe not now, but I know when I was growing up, what you notice a lot is when it was a black person, they'll be lighter skinned on television, on the news. It was very rare to see like a chocolate woman, a chocolate brother, dark skin. It's very rare to see that. It was like a preference, like a little lighter shade of brown. And so even with black people, we do this to one another, where we look at, you say light-skinned people are like this, dark-skinned people are like this. And none of that stuff is true, but it comes from being conditioned that way. And so if we were if we were allowed to go, or if white people left America, we would still run it like with white supremacy in the back of our brains, not even knowing we have been conditioned to think that kind of way. And so that's why it's so important to find out who we really are, because I always say this, people give us flack. People give us flack as, like, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. As Israelites, they give us flack and say, well, you this and you that. But guess what? I'm not celebrating European holidays. You are, though. At some point, I figured out that I have to disconnect myself from the system and realize most of the stuff I'm doing is a lie. Most of the stuff that I grew up learning was a lie. It's not even based in anything that's factual or anything that pertains to my people. And my ancestors who were enslaved were doing it because they had no choice at that time, but I have a choice. I thought niggas is free. But we still celebrating things that we had to celebrate while we was in chains? Nah, I'm cool. I don't know. I said this, my kid, I don't pledge allegiance to the flag. I did it when I was a kid. But guess what? I don't do it no more. My children have never did it. None of my children have ever celebrated a birthday. Like, a lot of stuff y'all just don't know comes from Europeans. It's not connected to anything black. You do it every day and you have convinced yourself that this is life, this is what it is, and it comes from your oppressor. And so I don't want to keep going, but I think y'all get the point of what I'm saying. Like, it's so much stuff. Like, that's why I said yesterday, I'm at this beautiful function. I can celebrate. I can be at a Juneteenth thing because this is black people created this in remembrance of being free from slavery. But I'm at this Juneteenth event and I'm like, damn, okay. Black people, you here, you Juneteenth, but okay. How many of y'all gonna celebrate the 4th of July though? With all of the stuff that just happened in these last 2 weeks, and white people showing you how racist they still are and how they have not changed and how they hate you, you're still going to go out and celebrate and put money in the pockets for a holiday that comes from them, that they gave to your ancestors. How many of y'all going to celebrate that? Don't nobody need to answer, but this will let you know where you are in your growth. If you not celebrating it, or if you still going to celebrate, not just that, but all of them. I threw them all away. They all in the trash and it doesn't even hurt. It's just a beautiful thing to see that your children is never celebrating none of these things. And there is nothing, they're not missing a beat. They're not missing a beat. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just feel like what the brother said is so true. It's so right that we just we're just locked in psychologically to white supremacy, and we don't even know it at this point, but there's a new phenomenon in the earth called information that our ancestors didn't have. You got something at the at your at the whim of your fingertips, your smartphone. Information. You can get some information now. You can get a lot more. You can get, like, I'm not just going to talk about our ancestors. I'll say for most of the world, the average person has access to more information than the vast majority of the world in ancient times. If you really think about it, that's like mind blowing. Because you back then, and even the time when our ancestors was around, we were here, enslaved, you would have to go inside a library. You would have to open books, multiple books, and you have to be in those places because certain places only have books wasn't everywhere. They would be in just one library in one place in the world. So with a phone, with the access to the World Wide Web, you can access different libraries. You can access different books on like Kindle and stuff like that. I mean, it's just limitless on what you can learn and what you can find out. And even with finding out, I found, like I told y'all this before, I was able to trace down my great 4 times great grandfather. I'm literally at the what year are we in? I traced all the way down to 1750 through census records and paperwork that is digitized, is online. I mean, I would have never been able to do that. Like who knew that I was going to be able to do that? You know what I mean? So I'm right at the foot of slavery in Virginia. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate y'all, brothers and sisters, for rocking with me. I'm gonna give you some shout outs. Y'all always up in here rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Miles was in here. Sister Barathana, Renee Gaines, Coach Ron 82 was in here rocking with me. Appreciate it. So, excuse me. Let me get some water. There's a few people that's not in here that's always in here. Y'all know who y'all are, man. I see y'all next week. We're going to get into it. I'm gonna bring out some information. I'm gonna definitely have a Black Authentic Truth story. Okay. I'm working on the store because I got some fire designs that I just created. I sold a lot of them at the Juneteenth event yesterday, but I want to update this website so that I get these fire designs. I got some nice designs. All of them will be tying into Black Authentic Truth, into our history, and into us becoming better people. Like I showed y'all last week, I did that Say No to Drugs shirt. I'm working on some type of Western shirt for Black cowboys, man. Trying to come with a nice design. Everything is designed by me. If you didn't know, I have a history of art. I have a history of just being creative and working with different mediums. And so I'm just going to use my big brain, to come with some fire designs for y'all. So that way you can support me in that way, if at all. If not, it's cool. Just tapping in and logging in and, commenting, watching me, that's cool. I'm just trying to give information and we can grow together. So I'll see y'all next Sunday, maybe in between, maybe next Wednesday, if not next Sunday. With that, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay out the way. I love y'all. Peace. This is Black Authentic Truth. I'll see y'all later, y'all.
What's up, baby? This is Deontay the Bronze Rumble Wilder. Make sure you tap into Black Authentic Truth for your latest news. It's great information, baby. Bomb Squad!
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of history. Every month they do Black History. They got Juneteenth. But there's nothing like Black Authentic Truth than what you get in ISUPK. You want to make sure you subscribe to Black Authentic Truth. The reason why is because we actually give you the truth that correlates with historical information, and it incorporates with the Bible as well. You want to know why they don't have an answer for our condition in slavery? Because they don't bring the Bible. Black Authentic Truth marries Black history with the Bible, gives you the correct information. Make sure you subscribe to Black Authentic Truth for the proper information. Shalom.
Street Nasheed right here in Los Angeles, making it do what it do, man. Y'all check out Black Authentic Truth. Get some real good game on YouTube. Black Authentic Truth, man. Check it out, man. Real good information.
Man, you know what's going on. It's your boy Geechee Gotti. I'm rocking with Black Authentic Truth. You want to learn something? Tune in, man. Get your knowledge up. Get your history up, man. Know about something, man. You know what time it is, man. Geechee Gotti, Black Authentic Truth, man. Like and subscribe.
Black man, I have an obligation to my race of people, not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people.
And you have always hated us. We have loved you consistently for 400 years. We prayed to that white Jesus, and we saluted your flag, and we died in your militaries, and you beat us like dogs.
This is Black Authentic Truth.